All right, everyone, we're back after a little hiatus. Welcome back to The Ox and the Rat. I'm your host, The Ox.
And I'm the Rat.
How we doing in your part of the world?
I'm doing okay. It's getting pretty darn hot.
Yeah, and that's a problem when you don't have AC, or you do have AC.
I do. It's right above where I'm sitting currently. But the other day it was like 34 or 35 already, and it's only May.
Yeah, it gets really hot. But you know what? I don't know. I have central air here, and well, you mean 35 degrees Celsius?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a lot different.
And humidity.
Oh yeah, the humidity. Yeah, here it just won't end this summer or this like spring, and it's always like 10 degrees or lower or just above. I'm waiting for it to break. But we got like our first 20-degree weather coming up this weekend. Pretty pumped, and no more wind. It's just windy all the time. But hopefully that's changing. Yeah. And we have central air here, technically, in our like townhouse. But I mean, it's like a jet engine when it's on. I hate it. It's almost like I prefer not having it. But we'll see when it gets really hot here.
Yeah, it's also humid there too, right?
I guess so. I don't know. Humidity.
Compared to the West, anyway.
It doesn't feel like it was in. It doesn't feel like the humidity I experienced in Asia. That's for sure. That was the next level kind of humidity.
Yeah. So a fan could do it. Where you?
Oh, yeah. I also got my first COVID shot on Monday. So it's Thursday now. Yeah, I guess so. What's there? You go and they're like, everyone's like, "Hooray, good for you!" Everybody's got like this great, like quote unquote, great attitude, like encouraging you because you got your shot, and then you're like, "So fuck what?" Like I'm going right back home into the same situation. Like it's like nothing happened. I really feel like there's no incentive for it at all.
Yeah, I guess they're hoping that it will change in the summer. It seems like California is saying June or something that masks will be not used.
Yeah, it's a joke. They're so risk averse here that I don't know if they're still while vaccines are ramping up, they're still talking about extending the lockdown. We're still in a lockdown. What a joke. Sucks. I hate it.
Yeah, not good.
Is it like there? Is it like a lockdown?
No. I mean, you could do whatever you want in terms of in the country, pretty much. And then there might be some zones where they'll say like, oh, this is medium risk or high risk. So if you wind up in one of those zones accidentally, you have to quarantine for 14 days when you come back. So that's if you're traveling or whatever. But currently there's only one in the south, I think. And everything else is normal. I just can't leave the country because I can't get back in.
You have to wear a mask everywhere you go?
Just on the subway. I wear it at work too, but...
You have to at work, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and you're back in the school or wherever?
Yeah, I've been back in since... we actually went back last summer for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then... And then we had summer vacation, and then we went back to work. Huh. So I was actually working last summer, but I know people that haven't gone to work,
including
not here. Mm-hmm.
I have never been to the office I work at, so weird.
Yeah, it's kind of good. You might want to mix of both in the future, but maybe not 100%.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to mix. I want continuity, regularity. I just want to get back to routines. That's what I miss the most.
Maybe like a Friday, though, would be nice. Like work home Friday.
Yeah, that would be a nice incentive. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think anything's ever going to be able to go back to normal, right? Because people have invested. It's been this long in creating an infrastructure for people to work from home. So I don't know if you can ever go back on that. Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, let's dive right into this fable, shall we?
About we shall.
All right. So this one, I'm trying to keep short today, is The Dog and His Master's Dinner. So we got another dog reference. And it starts, a dog had learned to carry his master's dinner to him every day. He was very faithful to his duty, though the smell of the good things in the basket tempted him. The dogs in the neighborhood noticed him carrying the basket and soon discovered what was in it. They made several attempts to steal it from him, but he always guarded it faithfully. Then one day, all the dogs in the neighborhood got together and met him on his way with the basket. The dog tried to run away from them, but at last he stopped to argue. That was his mistake. They soon made him feel so ridiculous that he dropped the basket and seized a large piece of roast meat intended for his master's dinner. Very well, he said. You divide the rest. This one's tough, right?
Yeah, I kind of blanked at the first part too. I was thinking about something. What's the recap on that?
So this dog learned to carry his master's dinner home to him every day. So it's the dog who's carrying the dinner, and the dogs in the neighborhood notice him and they figure out, oh, there's some stuff in it. They want to steal it from him. He always guards it faithfully. And one day the dogs got together and got it from him, got a part of the dinner, and because the dog stopped to argue. Right? That was the key. Usually he just ran away, but then he stopped to argue, and that was his mistake. They soon made him feel so ridiculous with the argument that he dropped the basket and seized a large piece of roast meat intended for his master's dinner. Very well, he said, you divide the rest.
See, before you highlighted that specific part, I was thinking like, I don't remember the saying, but it's like, don't let somebody do whatever work. What's that saying? Like, it's basically you have to do the job yourself. Don't make somebody else do your work. Do you know that saying?
I know sayings like it. Yeah, like do your own work or whatever. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was that, and that's kind of what it should be, because you shouldn't have a dog go get your dinner for you.
Yeah. Sure. Can't argue there.
But don't be don't stand your ground. Or it's always best to run away from a fight. Maybe.
Yeah, that's good. You did better than I thought. This one's really tough. Chose it on purpose for this because it's tough. We'll see. So it's do not stop to argue with temptation. So there's two parts, right? So the dog stopped to argue rather than running away, which is very close to what you're talking about. Don't argue with temptation, and that's the second part of it, with temptation. The end. And he said, "Very well, just go ahead."
And is the temptation the dinner, or was he tempted to do something?
That's a really good question, and I do not know, actually. So he stops at, maybe he's tempted to argue. Maybe in the end, what we're realizing is the dog should not have been picking up that dinner because he wants to eat it too. And he says, you know what, just go ahead. Divide the rest.
Or is it like, say you have a wallet, and some guy comes up to you and is like, give me your wallet. And they're like, no, and we go to fight. And then the guy ends up being stabbed and he gets his wallet taken. Is that, don't argue with temptation. Don't argue with something that is valuable.
Yeah.
in your hands.
Yeah, I think. Well, that's certainly one possibility of what this is trying to argue. But that's valid, right? I think that's probably what it is. I mean, it is weird that it's a dog with meat. It makes me think the dog and the way he responds, he's like, "Ah, screw it." That's
Mm.
probably what he meant. Part of it, that could be part of it too. I don't know. Aesop, we don't even know if he wrote these. We don't
Ooh,
even know if he was a real person.
that's true. Yeah. So what you're saying, I think the "oh screw it" thing. If he didn't drop the meat and say whatever, divide that, they would have all attacked him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe that's it.
That could be another angle on this. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could explore both sides of that. So you'd say like, okay, is there ever been a time where this has been relevant, where I I stopped to argue with somebody wanted something, they were going to take it, or it was going to happen anyways. I think that's the thing. And I stopped to and I argued and made it worse. I don't know. That's is a really tough one to explore. Probably relationships always come to mind.
Yeah.
Just don't argue. That's a tough one for me. Otherwise, I don't know. What about you?
Yeah. Otherwise, it's very. Oh, okay. So I have a good story.
Okay.
Well, I have two. I have two minor ones that happened to me, and then another one that I know. So when I was in Africa, I took this taxi, just like a cheap taxi from town to Cape Town, or no, whatever, Zanzibar, Stone Town. And when I got off the taxi, there's two random guys walked up, and they're like, "You didn't pay your baggage fee." I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And they're like, "No, you didn't." I'm like, "Well, these guys weren't even related to this truck." So I'm like, "Well, go talk to that guy. I paid." So then they walked over, and as they were walking over, I just like took off the other direction. But the baggage fee was only $2. So I mean, that could have ended up badly for trying to save $2 potentially. Um, the other one, I can't remember what I was gonna say, but then the good story one was I won't say who, but so I know this person that had their bike stolen. I don't know if this applies, kind of, but they had their bikes stolen, both like a mountain bike, boyfriend, girlfriend, both had them taken. And so the person that had it stolen was just waiting to see if it would come up online to see if somebody was selling it. So eventually, like a month later, they saw, oh, there's the bikes. So they phone the cops and then get them to go over there. And then a few days after that, they woke up at like 5 a.m. to their truck ablaze. Somebody retaliated and just lit their poured gas all over their truck and lit it on fire.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's aggressive.
So I don't know if
Did,
that
did
sort
they get the
of.
bikes back?
Nope, I don't think so.
Oh, so
I don't.
got nothing.
I didn't hear that part, but maybe not. So yeah, maybe that was don't argue with temptation. So I guess they're tempted to get what was theirs, although it was a just reason.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know if that applies, but crazy story anyway.
Yeah, that was a good story, regardless. I don't know. Made him feel. I'm just trying to explore this further. That was his mistake. They made him feel so ridiculous that he dropped the basket. Sees a large piece of roast meat. So they made him feel. Maybe that's the key to this. But at last he stopped to argue. He's a dog and he's arguing with the dogs. That was his mistake because they made him feel ridiculous. Maybe the idea is they made him feel ridiculous because they're like, dude, you're a dog. Like, just eat it. Share it with us. And that's how he
Mm-hmm.
responds. I think that's where this is. So it's like
And don't,
arguing with your best interest against your own desires.
yeah, don't argue, or don't, what is it? Don't argue with temptation?
Yeah.
He had something to prove. Like, they made him feel bad, so he had something to prove. And that was his temptation, that he had to win and show himself to be better person or better dog than them, or stand up for himself.
Yeah, I think they argued him on the whole like dog meat thing. Like, you're an idiot. What the hell are you doing? Because he's like, yeah, you know what? Take the rest. Remember, it says, you divide the rest. So maybe he's
Yes.
gonna eat he's gonna eat the other part of it for himself. I don't know.
Yeah. Or just a piece fell out,
Yeah, a piece of it did,
or,
not all of it.
or he snatched a bit, and then he, I don't know. It's pretty ambiguous fable.
It's definitely an ambiguous fable. But do not stop to argue with temptation. So let it happen, I guess. Not the greatest way of looking at things. Whether I don't know if that's the right one, but like, sometimes I don't know. Like, if I think about like food's always a temptation, right? But I don't know if that's a good idea not to argue with temptation. I think sometimes I need to eat more for sure because I don't eat most of the day. I think today is day 4 of like 20-hour fasting, and I eat like a bunch of food in a small window. But like but before I'd eat all the time, and then I wasn't thinking about it. And now I'm arguing. I'm like, I would eat. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm very hungry. I want to eat. I want to eat now. I want to eat later. Sometimes, not all the time. But like, yeah, I noticed that I can't keep. Sometimes it's smart to just listen to your body instead. When you know what your body's telling you, I think otherwise, like, it took a while for me to realize what hunger actually was. Because, like, I remember if I woke up and didn't immediately eat food, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm dying. So maybe temptation is it can be a change to, like, need at some points, or listening. Maybe it's like, I know people who, like, will not they've got this one hobby, right? Say it's photography, and it's like, well, a camera is a huge investment, and it's like, should I do it, should I not? It's a lot of money. Like, well, is it something you really care about? Do you see yourself using it? And then at some point it's like, you're still thinking about it like months later. Just pull the trigger, just go for it. You got to listen to yourself. If it's a temptation that's like that, well, temptation's a bad word. Like, if you realize it's something that you really need or want, it's continuous, it keeps sticking around, it doesn't just come and go, then it's probably something you shouldn't be resisting or arguing with.
I do that a lot. I keep waiting for the next version of something when I could have enjoyed something, like, in the meantime.
That's probably a good habit, though. I'm pretty good about that. I used to be horrible at it. I don't really buy much these days. Yeah, I don't. I spend all my money on food. I'm talking about food. Really good food.
Yeah.
And so beer.
For the main part, same. I've been waiting to get a new phone, new computer for years.
Eons? I'd say eons. Which phone are you rocking now?
iPhone 7.
Oh, wow. Oh my God, that's ancient. Yeah. Okay.
I had a 6 with a 16 gig, and eventually it was just like, I can't use this. It's always full. I take like 5 pictures and it's like full. So sold that, got the 7. I've never owned a brand new phone before, like a flagship phone, I suppose.
Yeah, it's not really worth the hype.
Well, it just lasts longer, I suppose. I mean, if you're using these like cheap ones, anyways, like some of the cheap ones I had,
Oh
they
yeah.
last like a year, and then it just slows down or breaks or whatever. And then just like when I was in the Philippines, or when we were in the Philippines, I had my phone for like a day, and then it just broke. And you can't get it fixed anywhere. So if I just would have done, I use my phone, I take photos, I like doing that stuff. So if I just would have spent the money, been tempted, I could have also had the footage and memories, I suppose.
Yeah, and of course I got mine back as we talked about before during that same trip. Do you
Mm-hmm.
ever do you remember how they dumped me off the island that we stayed at? How like the catamaran left me halfway to the beach.
The
I had to
island. Oh
walk
yeah,
up. That was it's
yeah.
like you're not leaving me here. It's like yeah, you have to. Sorry, I swear. Now that I think about it, I didn't really think about it too much, but they were probably laughing their asses off. Like that was pretty deep water. Well, I don't know. Obviously, I could. It was like up to my hip because I had that
Yeah.
camera. I had that camera bag, or no, I had my old like camper bag. I only used like 3 times or something, and I had to wade in from there, and I was wearing flip flops. And flip flops, like when you're in the water, they just like fall off all the time. Oh my god, that was crazy. I was terrified of all the sea cucumbers, sea urchins. Like, that was crazy that I had to do that. It took me like 15 minutes to walk in, and you were just watching me the whole
Yeah.
time. Holy fuck.
Yeah. How far was that? I was gonna
I
guess
was that's
500 meters, but
I
maybe it
was
was more.
literally just going to say 500 meters. Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
positive that was half a kilometer of slowly wading in like, to be honest, shark infested waters. If we're honest here, like full of sea urchins and all kinds of shit. And I was carrying all of my stuff. I had my camera. Oh, I didn't have a camera then. No. Oh man, that was ridiculous.
You were at the first place, and I don't know why I got
Well,
there before you.
because I got there, my flight was delayed. That was a weird
Mm.
day. There's so many experiences that like that just come back to me thinking about it. I'm like, wow, what a weird. Yeah, I got in late there, and then got in late, and I had to, and I just missed the last boat out to the island, and they were like, you can take. Yeah, there's a good example. They're like, you could take this private one for like triple the cost. I'm like, fuck you, I'm not gonna take that. And then I ended up having to find a hotel. All the places were closed because it was like Sunday, right? I think they observed like you know all the stores being closed and shit. I ended up having a beer and like drink and eating some crappy food outside of a 7-Eleven, which are super hot 7-Elevens. That's like the spot in the Philippines. 7-Eleven, man. Yeah, and then I had to wait until the morning to take the thing and take it out. It took forever just to get there, so I missed a whole day. Yeah.
So would it have been worth it to spend
Yes, it would
triple
have.
the amount?
I was so stingy back then, though. I don't understand. Like looking back,
Well, we're
I
making much.
no, no, but I wasn't spend. I didn't have to spend this much. I don't know. It's really hard. Yeah, living here, like my god, it's expensive. Like just doing basic shit, it's so goddamn expensive. And you always have the worst part is having had the experience of cheap that you're like, well, I know what this is worth in other places, so I'm highly skeptical that the value is accurate here. Anyways.
Mm. Yeah, we almost got stuck on that island trying to get off it, right?
Oh yeah,
As
that's
well.
right. And we
It
had
was
to,
going to
and
be like,
we had boats to take. We had something booked, right? So
Yeah, we or maybe
We had a
it was
hotel book.
supposed.
We had a hotel
Oh
book.
yeah, we had a hotel book on the other side, but it got really wavy and
Yeah.
in between the island and the other island, and so they close all the main boats, right? Like from the
Yeah.
main pier. So we had to go to this random pier where everybody's just like waiting on the shoreline. Just like it was like a busted up pier.
Yeah, it
We just got
was.
on this little boat, and we had to like cross on like a plank to get on this thing. But it was kind of illegal, I think. Like people weren't
Oh
supposed
yeah.
to be crossing.
And there was a lot of people on that shitty boat.
Yeah.
There was a
Oh, it
few of
could have
them.
capsized.
Oh, very well. Although at least I know that I can wade in from a certain distance now. Yeah, I love that. Was a fun trip.
Mm-hmm.
Even though like I was tired through most of it and went off. I don't know. That was a fun one, and it was not scripted whatsoever.
No, but worked out surprisingly
Yeah,
well.
remarkably well. Yeah. If only. Anyways, well, it's been a long time for me here. I've got a few things to take care of for school. Back at it. So I think this one is going to be the last for a few months, maybe. We talked about this
Maybe.
before, but
Yeah.
yeah, some time to rethink and reset for me. And yeah, I'm intent. The intent is to come back and continue this, but yeah, a little hiatus is called for, I think.
Yeah, getting close to the end of the year where you're just like everything's a little bit more tiring too.
Yeah, I just gotta get some things off my plate. Like I keep saying, I'm so close to finishing my MEd, so close, and work and a few other things.
Once I have vacation time, maybe I can get up early or something. We can throw together a couple more to reach 40 in the next
Yeah,
couple months.
yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. 40 is a nice round number, and then come back with something refresh maybe. So yeah, if you guys have any thoughts or feedback about what that refresh should look like, again, happy to hear it. Yeah, but on the topic of this fable, do not stop to argue with temptation. I don't know because because I don't know if we even understand what this one is. Come on, Aesop.
Yeah. I can't call it. I can't call it. Do you remember that guy before we go? Do you remember that guy Kai?
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
like the surfer guy and he's like bam, bam, bam. There's a viral video of him.
In
He was like in I don't know, he's in the States somewhere and he kind of like I think he ran into this dude, like he squished this dude with his car cuz he was like going after a girl. He had like
oh
big
no,
long flowing hair.
then I don't
No?
know. I
Uh,
thought you were talking about somebody else.
yeah, if you probably searched a picture of Kai, you would you'd figure it out. As I'm doing, I'll tell the rest of the story. Uh, so yeah, that guy, he went viral somewhere. He like smashed some guy, and he told a story about like beating some other guy up because he's kind of getting handsy with some girl,
Yeah.
and he ended up now he's in jail. Killed some other guy. So I like all these weird little stories. I just found out that he was in jail. You know
Yeah,
that
I'm looking
guy?
at it right now. Caleb Lawrence McGillivray, a hatchet wielding. In the video, described the hatchet wielding attack as a smash, smash,
Yeah.
smash.
Smash, smash,
He's from
smash.
Canada. He
Yeah,
said
that was
that
the thing.
fallout in the video as part of his defense against a homicide charge that was filed in New Jersey a few months later. Wow. Eyewitness account by a man calling himself Kai, who describes what happened soon after the course of events. Oh yeah, go on with your story. I'm just reading this out loud.
Oh yeah. Well, that was basically it. That
Uh,
there's all these three. There's three events where he is like, protecting somebody, or two events, and then yeah, he ended up in jail. But he was one of those early memes before memes were a thing, a viral video. Back, when they used to do auto tune to all these videos.
wow. Attacked her, sensing the woman's life and believing the man could snap her neck like a pencil. Kai removed a hatchet from his backpack and began to repeatedly strike McBride in the back of the head. Wow.
And
he was set free by the police.
Yeah, so is he just this guy who's like trying to save people? And maybe because he said that the guy at the very end who he ended up killing was like trying to take advantage of him because he's sleeping on his couch.
Kai was arrested on murder charges in the death of Joseph Golfi. Kai maintained he fought against him in self-defense. He had been drugged and raped by Golfi. After he Kai stated that sexual encounter was consensual. Oh God. After the murder charges, the video views increased substantially. Kai said that the viral video, he had no need to have sex with men like Elfie. Do you know how many hot chicks? Never mind. Whoa, this is weird. I've never heard of this before.
Yeah, it's a big sensation. But I just knew him from that video. I realized he is in jail.
He was in trial in 2019, guilty of first-degree murder, sentenced to 57 years.
It seems excessive. I mean, if it was self-defense, potentially.
The guy he killed was 73.
I think he was a judge. I think that's why, or a lawyer or something. That's probably why he got such a big sentence.
Wild. Anyways. Yeah, so who knows about this, but for us, looking forward, give us some feedback, and hoping to get back sooner rather than later, maybe with a different look and feel. Who knows?
Maybe we'll research old viral videos.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
All right, well, our final thumbs up or thumbs down. I'll go sideways.
Sideways and outwards.
Because it might be true. I'm not sure.
If we've got it correct. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for listening, everybody, and talk to you next time. Adios.
Goodbye.